everyone, welcome back. And today is going to be one of the blast sessions from VIT Chennai. So hey, Rahul, would you like to start with some kind of like a context or something so that everyone knows what we are doing and it's going to be awesome?
Yeah, so hello and welcome everyone. I'm Rahul Gandhi, your host for today's event. Firstly, we at Android Club VIT Chennai would like to congratulate you all for choosing the best way to make use of this long weekend that we are getting. Evolve is the name of our event. It's going to be a very well-informed, but at the same time, really refreshing 3-day ride for all of you. I'll quickly tell you about the timeline of the seminars that Evolve consists of. We have 3 events to look forward to. First one being the portfolio making, for which you all have been here right now. Next up, tomorrow, we will be having placement talks starting up at 8 p.m. And finally, on 16th of April, which is day after tomorrow, we'll be having app from scratch. So by any chance, if you guys haven't registered for the other 2 events, you can still do it now. The links would be there in the chat box. Now, before the event starts, a few instructions for all of you. Please do keep your mics muted until and unless specifically mentioned to unmute. Also, there is going to be a Q&A round where you can put up your questions in the chat box. So we request you to refrain from using any inappropriate or strong language. Also, please don't spam anything in the chat box. Now, without any further
recording in progress.
I would like to introduce you all to today's speaker, Mr. Praveen Kumar Purushothaman. He is a full stack JavaScript developer. He's joining us from London. He has done his master's in cloud computing from University of Leicester. He's really active on LinkedIn, so you guys can connect with him over there. And also you can follow him up on his YouTube channel. The link will be provided in the chat box. So yeah, so reading about him on the internet, I got really interested in his works. I got to know quite a bit about him, some of his amazing achievements. Mr. Purushottam is a Guinness record holder.
That's my dad and it is Purushothaman, so it's better you call me Praveen.
Okay, Mr. Praveen is a Guinness record holder. Sorry for that. Also, he has been awarded as Microsoft Most Valuable Professional. Apart from all of this, one thing that stood out for me was his mission to provide free, high-quality tech education for everyone and promote women in tech in India. So these were the things that made me really interested in what he has done on all of those things. So you can follow him up, as I mentioned, in his LinkedIn account and YouTube channel. Now I can go on and on about all of his achievements, but I won't take more of your time, and I would hand it over to Mr. Praveen to take it over.
Thank you so much, Rahul. That was an absolutely awesome introduction. So, hey everyone, my name is Praveen, as he said, and I'm a full stack JavaScript specialist specializing on React and Node. So today what we are going to do is we will be looking towards a couple of awesome topics, and then we will go with those. So starting with this, today's agenda, we'll start with the basics of GitHub terminal, the open source world. And for those people who will like stories, it's going to be storytelling mode as well. And then it can go for up to 20 minutes. And then after that, we will go ahead and start a hands-on demo on creating your best portfolio with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. We'll be using some, how should I say, like a couple of libraries like Bootstrap and jQuery. Then we will have a small intro, which might go for an hour. And then we have a small introduction on React and what are all the best use cases, what you can do with React, how can you make your application stand out, or why React in simple terms. Then we can that can go about like 15 minutes. And for the rest of 30 minutes, half an hour, we can take up any questions that are there with the students. And by the end of this session, you would be, all the participants will have a portfolio of their own, which you can actually upload on the GitHub pages. So this is the complete idea about the session. Are you all excited? That's my first question.
Yes.
So the current, nice to know. So the current session is also being streamed on YouTube. So if you can kindly open the YouTube link and have it open muted, that will actually help me as well. So without further delay, we will switch on the whole session and we will start working on it. So the first thing is, I keep telling that I'm a full stack developer. So what exactly is this full stack developer, and what a full stack developer does? So that is what we are going to say. And I keep saying that I'm full stack developer. So without a full stack developer is someone who has got some kind of like how should I say, there is definitely a website or something like that. So let me share my screen, and I hope everyone is able to see my screen. Right?
Yes, so we can see your screen.
Cool. So the first thing is, like, this is my website, and by the way, for buying a website, you would be paying something for the domain name, right? So you might get some cool goodies with which you can buy a free website, because this is something you are going to learn today. And so what did I do in my website? There is a huge picture of me which was taken in a nice place, and then it says like, what is my name, what are all the different things that I am doing. Like, I'm Praveen Kumar, I'm a full stack developer, I'm a cloud computing consultant, I'm a cat lover, I'm a cook, etc., etc. And if you see here, there are like multiple ways you can connect with me, like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Stack Overflow, Stack Exchange Network, GitHub, and GitLab. So coming to this one, this is like, I do have my YouTube channel as well. So if you check this out, we are currently streaming whatever we are actually looking at here. So this is being streamed. So it looks really better in terms of YouTube, actually, to be honest. So if you see here, it looks really beautiful, right? So that's something which I wanted to tell. And coming back to what we are working on, so we can close this off. So there is a small about section about me. So what all things that I have been doing here, and all those things that are very much required is here. For example, I don't require to put my birth date, but there is my WhatsApp number, there's my email address, and then view profile goes to my LinkedIn profile. And there is a list of skills which has not been updated for ages. Okay, coming to experience, I believe a lot of people who are watching right now are students. So in case if you don't have any experience, one good idea that I can tell you is, go ahead and put in your projects. So you might have done a couple of projects, small projects, hobby projects, or something like that, right? Try to put those things, give an explanation of what exactly you did here, and etc. So this thing, as you see, I haven't updated for about like a year or two. So I'm just I'm just lazy. So, and coming to the education part, I have written, like, I did my two education, as the other person said, as the co-host said, I've got like University of Leicester and then Anna University. And coming to this one, I have created a couple of numbers. These are all like very old numbers, but yeah. And the main thing about what we are doing today is start creating some nice projects and try to share it in your social network. So the main reason why I'm telling these things is, so for example, if you take this particular thing, I did like 12 years ago, this I did like 11 years ago, and this I did like 10 years ago. And you can clearly see that how I have, like I have gone from something to something, like how this is my first ever project. And if you see the latest ones, they are looking really good, right? And when an employer, potential employer, or someone who wants to work with you looks at these things, it is going to be really helpful for them to like gauge you, whether you are good or bad, whether they should be giving you the work or not. And one more thing is, once you enter the main stuff, like for example, if you are entering the company or anything, written communication skills are very, 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 very important. So start writing your blogs. And what I would ask you to write is two things. Number one, if you learn something really complicated or complex, try to explain it in a simple way to a 5-year-old kid or your grandma or grandpa. That way you can see how good you are in the particular subject. And one more thing is, generally when I write tech blogs, what I do is, I have a problem in my mind. I have got this exact solution that I wanted to go for. I kind of do a lot of trial and error things, and then I kind of like document the approach, and then finally I get the solution. So I do all those things. I write it as a complete blog post, and that is very helpful for a lot of people. A lot of people will be finding the same problem, and then if they stumble across your solution, it is going to help them. And the main reason why I say these things is, I have been interviewing candidates for about like 4 to 5 years now, and we are also recruiting the company that I'm working with. I believe a lot of people might already know what company I work for. It's a huge US based investment banking firm, but I recently came out of it. But yeah, so there are a couple of big companies that I work with, and every single company that I meet, they are recruiting web developers, and all I see is only the approach, not exactly the solution. You don't need to send the solution, but you need to see how you are approaching a problem. So that is very much important, and try to hone your skills on that. And this is what people talk behind my back, and here's something which you can talk behind my back. So this is a simple portfolio which I did a couple of months ago, and I took around 1.5 years to complete this website, because I was trialing out a lot of different things, and I even created this kind of a page which was inspired by MLH and other things. So yeah, so that's about my website. And at the end of this webinar, I want every one of you to create something like this. That is the ultimate aim. And coming back to other stuff, let's go ahead and see if there are anyone who is in the YouTube chat. So Sasi, welcome. Okay, so there is a question from Ankush Ladani saying how to be good in JS and React. Please discuss. Yes, that is one of the discussion part today. Definitely, we will be discussing about that. And we have got Shri Prasanna and Ayush Sharma. Nice to meet you both. Okay, so without further delay, what we are going to do is we will start with Git and GitHub. How many of you would like to do time travel in your life? So please put a small message. Time travel or something like that, so that it I can see how many people are really interested in that. Okay, so we have got a lot of people who are raising hands. Rahul Gandhi for sure. Nice. Okay, cool. So I believe a lot of people. Okay, I see a lot of people raising hands. This is nice. Cool. Thank you. You can all lower your hands. Yes, thanks. Great. So Git and GitHub are, the version control systems are one way of time traveling your code. I'll give you a small anecdote of what happens. For example, let's say I'm building an application, and by the way, this is my GitHub profile. I'll come to it in a few minutes. So let's say I'm working on something like coding stuff, and then it's working on something at 8 p.m. I'm starting yesterday. Okay. And then I start work on it. I do a lot of work. It's going really awesome. 8:30, I'm doing a small milestone. How many of you would have played games, right? Most of the games, you have this checkpoints, right? So even after you die at a point, you can come back to the checkpoint, correct? So these are called as, let's say, milestones or commits in correct terms in Git. So we'll be using a lot of commits here at every point. So 8 o'clock, I make a commit. 8:30, I make a commit. 8:45, I make a commit. 9 o'clock, I make a commit. And whenever I achieve something, okay, great. This is something that I have finished properly. And then we can go ahead and put a commit, right? So that way, what happens is, I've got multiple checkpoints. At let's say 11:30 p.m., I feel sleepy. Okay, that's not a developer. 1 a.m., I feel sleepy, and then I switch off the computer. But before that, I have created at least 27 commits. And then on morning, I wake up with a fresh mind. And then it's almost 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. We rise late, right? So 9 a.m. I wake up, and then I look with the fresh eyes. Okay, there is some changes I can do. And 9 a.m., 9:15 a.m., 9:40 a.m. and 10 a.m., I kind of realized, oh my God, I have been doing everything in the wrong way. I saw the requirement, and it seems like whatever I did from 9 p.m., it was everything is wrong. If I have a time machine, I should go back and see, oh, wait, we have Git. What I can do is I can just go back in time when that commit was done, and then make a branch and start working on it from there. So this is one of the best way. Even though you cannot use the time that has been lost, you can at least go back in time to fix things. So, or at least start fixing things. So this is what we are working on. So Git is very important in these cases, and it has helped me a lot. Technically, during the data recovery times, it has helped me a lot. So this is my GitHub profile. And to create a GitHub profile, it is easy. Just go to github.com, and this is the main website. And how many of you do not know what GitHub is? Could I please know who all do not know what GitHub is? Either raise hand or yeah, raising hand is easier. So just raise your hand. So out of 85 people, 87 people, okay, 85 people, only 6 people do not know what GitHub is it? Okay. Okay, I could see like 7 hands rising. So you can all lower your hands. I'll just go with a small story, or like let's do two things. Okay, I'll tell you a small story and then I'll tell you how Git and GitHub are working, like what is the working behind the Git and GitHub. I need 2 volunteers for this, one from YouTube, one from Zoom. So who is going to be the volunteer for me? Any volunteers? I want them to put a small message on the chat. I am volunteering or something like that. Go ahead. Whoever volunteers first in the Zoom or in the chat, I want to give them a special gift. Okay, Aniket, you're a co-host, man. How can, okay, fine, still. All right, you are getting a gift. So what about anyone? Yes, Ankush. So Aniket and Ankush, another one person, preferably a girl. Can someone? Heli, you're my friend. Anyway, you have got all the goodies that I have got. Okay, fine. Super. So Heli, Aniket, and Ankush, 3 of us are in a classroom, and then there is this professor coming in, and then the professor is giving some homework to us, and in that homework there is an assignment. Okay, so we need to create an assignment. Heli being the first bencher, she is extremely brilliant, and we both boys are like useless guys as usual. And then Heli finishes the assignment very quickly and submits it, and she gets 80 marks. And then what happens is Heli is so good to both of us. She gives the assignment to both of us, and then we both copy and then turn it in. Once we do that, we all get 80 marks. But me being me in the backbencher and a curious person, I kind of look at what exactly Heli has done. And there are like a couple of changes that she can actually make it better. So what I do is I go to the nearby Xerox shop, photocopy shop, take a copy of the assignment, make some changes, and then I submit the assignment. I get 85 marks. Being a good friend of Heli, I go to Heli and say, hey, Heli, look at this. These are some changes which I did, and I got 95 marks. Sorry, 85 marks. You can do a lot of changes and maybe you can make it better. Again, Heli being an over enthusiastic, brilliant student, what she does is she rewrites the complete assignment, turns it in, and then she gets 92 marks, and she also shares it with all of us. Students, please don't do this in the real life. Okay, so what do you understand from this scenario? So we all get 92 marks. Heli is happy, the teacher is happy, we are all happy. What's happening here? Would you like to say a couple of things on this area? Like just put a small chat message. I'll also look at what people are saying in the oh, Shri Prasanna, you already know the story. Okay, great, nice to know. And those people who are watching, just hit the subscribe button on the YouTube as well, please. Thank you. So any question, any feedback for the story? So first thing, tell me how the story is. Second thing, what did you understand from the story? The first person to put a single line thing, you would be getting a nice goodie from me, a goodie bag from me. It might have anything. So Shri Prasanna, you are also okay to tell something. Okay, we can learn from other mistakes. Devs can share their code no matter what. Okay, that's happening always. All right, good one. When you improve your work, you get more rewards. Great. Work smart, not hard. I guess a lot of people missed a couple of things. Okay, I'm going to say a few things. What I would say is, number one, people can improve, collaborate with each other. So that's one thing is there. Teamwork, you will be learning teamwork and a couple of things. Okay, it's about contribution. Superb, Jay Kumar. Nice one. Okay, now let's have a look at what exactly is this Git and GitHub. There are around 10 people who have no idea what Git and GitHub, right? So let's quickly look into this story as such. not story. It's going to be a nice video. So I'm going to share the sound, and then let's go for the official Microsoft's video, and I'm going to go mute.
Okay, what is GitHub? Well, GitHub is a platform that helps people solve problems by building software together. So, how does it work? This is Sam. Sam works on tractors all day, but not in the way you might be thinking. She builds the software that helps make tractors more efficient. And she does this on GitHub with the help of her team, VJ, Melinda, and Mike. Now, even though they all work on the same project, Sam and her team don't all work in the same part of the world. This is Eddie. Eddie also works on tractors all day, except he actually works on the tractors all day. And this is the Harvester L700. It's the latest flagship in the company's fleet of tractors. It's full of sensors and processors that produce a ton of diagnostic data. Eddie has a great idea for how farmers might share their data and improve their harvests. So Eddie opens an issue on GitHub. Issues are discussion threads where people can report bugs, request features, or even just ask questions. Sam is the first one on her team to see Eddie's issue, and she thinks that VJ would be the best person to start the job. And here's where we get into the nuts and bolts. Eddie isn't the only person using the Harvester L700. All over the world, other tractors are collecting moisture data, and they need to keep running smoothly even while VJ is working on the new features. He needs a dedicated place to experiment so none of his changes end up on the farm before they're ready. So he creates a branch of the code, an alternate timeline where he can safely make changes to the software. Now he's ready to start writing the new feature. GitHub tracks VJ's changes and saves snapshots of his progress. When he's ready to collaborate on the changes with his team, he opens a pull request on GitHub. Pull requests let you show others the changes you're proposing so they can review and discuss them. This means VJ's teammates can help with roadblocks and even make improvements. On GitHub, everyone has a copy of the project. So if Melinda has an idea for something that will help make VJ's work even better, she can add it to the branch herself. GitHub keeps a record of everyone's contributions and feedback in the pull request, alongside relevant messages from the team's other systems. Once the team has signed off on the changes, VJ can incorporate the new code into the project. The new feature will be available to everyone as soon as he merges it in. Now farmers everywhere can all benefit from Eddie's great idea. But this is really only the beginning of the story. Because GitHub is the largest community of developers in the world, with millions of people sharing their projects, Eddie's idea could end up helping people in unimaginable ways. What kinds of problems are you trying to solve? Whether you're an engineer, a code enthusiast, or even a farmer trying to harvest grain, software touches every corner of our lives. GitHub is where people build that software. It's how they build software. Together.
Pause that video. So that's exactly how the whole GitHub process works as well. Now you understand what this pull request, etc., right? So in simple terms, what exactly happens is, Heli, can I call you as Microsoft? So the professor or the teacher who comes and gives the assignment to us is the developer community. The developer community is looking for seriously a good IDE at this point, and Microsoft, that is Heli, takes up the assignment first, and Microsoft creates a software called Visual Studio Code and distributes it to everyone in the world. All the developers use it, and it includes myself as well as Aniket. And now what we do is we are looking at a lot of things that are happening in the software. And me being me, the person who is the backbencher, I have got a lot of changes that I can propose. So remember, I just took a Xerox copy of Heli's assignment. So what I do is I kind of take a fork of the repository Heli has done. I mean, Microsoft has done with VS Code. and then I make all the changes, create a commit and push it. And then I request I request Microsoft to consider to pull my changes to their code base. That is called as pull request. And once they accept the pull request, they will merge the code with their code, and then they will distribute it to everyone. Along with that, they will also make some more changes and make the whole application look good. So this is the complete scenario of open source. How was the story, by the way? Was it too much? Was it boring? Was it good? All right, so that's about the Git and GitHub part. So all you need to do is create a simple GitHub account by creating an email address. So there are like multiple ways to do this, and I've got this particular link here. So I did a complete session on Git and GitHub. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna quickly go through what all things are there in that particular stuff. So if you open this one, you would be able to see that there is a playlist of 3 videos. It's totally about 3 hours in length. And it kind of like covers a lot of things. For example, this starts with the introduction of version control system, why we need to do version controlling and all these things. Then we have got like choosing the right version control systems. There are like so many different version control systems that are available in the world to choose for us. And why is Git so popular? Why not others? Why is that is very popular? And how to download and install Git locally in your machine, initializing a local repository in your Git, and then understanding the terminologies. Then we will also look into basic local Git and Git workflow. So from start to end, we will be looking at these things. The next part covers even more advanced things. So we will be introducing what GitHub is. So we talked about Git, the main powering agent before that behind GitHub. And then we will also look into the GitHub's relation to Git. Then we are also looking at creating a GitHub account, creating a new repository. Then we will also try to push the local files to the remote repository. And then there is the git ignore file. How is this going to help us, or what exactly this does? And then finally, there is this third part. The third part is the complete, the last part, and it has got some final touches here. So issues and pull requests, this is totally related to the open source world. Open source world actually goes through this one. So we will be creating issues, we will be creating pull requests. The maintainers will be able to merge the code to their repositories. How they are going to merge. There are different merging strategies as well. So you can do a merge commit, you can do a squash merge, you can do a rebase merge, etc. So how all these things are helping. And we are also looking at some advanced topics like Git stashing and cherry picking. Then we are also going to see how a maintainer can review the pull request, and then a real world complete example will be covered in this part. So these are a couple of things that I did a couple of months ago, and I have shared the link with everyone. So apart from these things, we are currently going to go and start working on, start working on the next stuff. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start a new GitHub repository. Okay, so to start a new GitHub repository, to create a new GitHub repository, it's going to be completely free. And then for those people who still have got no idea about Git and GitHub, you know, how many of you want 10 lakhs worth of goodies? I'm super serious about this. 10 lakhs, 10 with 5 zeros, rupees worth of goodies. I could see a lot of hands going on top. Excellent. Okay, so there is this thing called as GitHub Education Pack. In case if you are a student, you will be getting these things. So if you go to education.github.com, here you would be having a lot of benefits. So if you see the benefits here, as a student, you have got these things. So free GitHub Pro while you're a student, which is actually $7 per month. And for 2 years, they will give you. So 7 into 24, I have no clue. This alone is $168. And then you have got this GitHub Student Developer Pack partner offers, and then GitHub Campus Expert training for qualified applicants. So you can also be a GitHub Campus Expert as well. And then here you will be able to do a lot of things. And then the next thing that we are looking at is what are all those things that you can do as a GitHub student campus expert. So you can lead a community, you can grow with the community, you get a lot of speaking opportunities in GitHub, official GitHub conferences. You can organize your own community and events, and also you can receive exclusive swags and support. So if you see the GitHub swags here, there are like super cool GitHub swags for campus experts. So if you see the images, look at what all things that you are actually getting. So there are like so many things that you would be getting. You would be getting a lot of things to do your live stream, so many stickers, and yeah, so there are like so many things that you can do. So this is, I guess this is one of the best representation of what all things GitHub can do. So that's one thing. And apart from this, in Student Developer Pack, like I said, you have got these things, like there are like so many bundles that you get, and also all the offers are here. So Canva, you get 1 year free subscription. Namecheap, you can get 1 year free .me domain. DigitalOcean, you have got $100 in platform credit, then $100 here. A lot of people are like putting $100 or $150. Then there are like loads and loads of other opportunities as well. So everything together, it is definitely more than 10 lakhs. So don't forget to get all these things. And cool. So the next thing that we are going to do is like, let's start with our, so this is basic stuff about Git and GitHub. So we will, on the way, like while we are working with this application, we will be going towards learning Git and GitHub as well. So we will start with a new repository, a repository that's going to contain all the code that we do, and all these code are publicly accessible. A repository is something you can call it as like Google Drive for the public, something like that. So you have, I believe everyone has used Google Drive, Google Docs, Google Drive in particular. So how many of you have not used Google Drive by any chance? Not used or not known? So everyone knows it, right? So this is similar to a Google Drive folder, okay? A folder that is in public, but you have complete control over who is going to access it or who is going to make changes. So everything will be tracked, everything will be made sure it is not being sent out or something like that, sent out in the wrong hands or something like that. Okay, cool. Now coming back to our repository stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new repository called VITC portfolio making. That's what is the thing about, right? So part of Praveen's live stream with VIT Chennai. What was it again? Android development thing, right? I'm going to check my YouTube channel for the same. At the same time, I'll also check any, yeah, okay. It's Android Club VITC, right? Evolve. Cool. So I'm going to create a public repository, and then I'm going to add all these things. There are nothing I have done. So I'm just going to click on create repository here. So once I create a repository, it will be publicly available. So I'm going to give this link to everyone. Along with that, I'll also add the list of links as well. So just give me 1 second. So here's the repository source code. Cool. So the next thing that I wanted to show you is my development environment. So if you go to Google and type in Praveen Dev Environment on Google, the first link comes as like my personal development environment. If you open that, you would be able to find this particular website, which contains what all the different applications and software that I use for my everyday work. So I basically use a lot of Google Chrome, even though it has got a lot of privacy issues and other things, it is one of the best. I believe a lot of people here are newbies. So those people who are like completely new to Google developer tools, can one of you who is like never used HTML or CSS, come forward as a volunteer? I wanted to ask a couple of questions. Just tell me your favorite news channel website. News website, favorite news website. Hi, Anadi. Nice to meet you here. Any favorite news channel website of a person who has never used Google developer tools. Okay, Sam says morning brew. Okay, I have never heard of that news channel. Let me try finding it. Okay, this looks really nice, and it has got some issues. Like, okay, cool. Okay, this I never have heard of this one. So Sam, let's consider you want to be featured on the first page of Morning Brew. So what news should be there for you? Like Sam has become the president of the world or something like that. What kind of news would you like to be featured in, Sam? Well, let's consider Sam's picture. We want Sam's picture as well. So I'm going to go to images.google.com. Sam receiving award. Okay, Sam is okay. Let's consider this guy as Sam. Okay. Or do we have any other Sam who is receiving award? All these people are like old people. I believe Sam is just a kid or a student. Okay, let's take this one. It kind of like, no, it's a girl. Okay, boy receiving award. We'll consider this as Sam because it is also iStock photo or something like that. Let's use this. So let's see this is let's consider this is Sam. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this image address, and then if I go here, Sam, for what you want to receive award, just let us know. So what I'm doing here is inside the inspect element, I'm just doing some changes with the source and other things. And also here I will say like, instead of logjam, I'm going to do Android VITC evolve. So it's going to show me Android Club VITC Chennai evolve. And we can also change something like Sam receives the best award for being the best interactive student in the live stream. So if I do these things, I could see that where exactly I need to stop it. For example, okay, Nobel Prize for, okay, Sam receives the Nobel Peace. Okay, Nobel is it? American words. For world peace. Or okay, so something like this. If I write this content, I'm able to have it in the same line itself. So if I put another 2 dots, then it goes to the second line. So I need to do something simpler. So what I will do is I'll just remove this though. And then press enter. Okay, this looks perfect. So I can actually do a lot of trial and error using dev tools for Chrome. And one more thing, Sam, would you like to take a small picture of this? Because this is one of the best achievements, man. So you are on the front page of your favorite magazine or whatever it is, favorite news channel or something like that, news website. Okay, cool. So these are a couple of things where you can do a lot of trial and error with your whatever, like Google Chrome and stuff like that. That's why I like Google Chrome. So that is what I'm using here. And there are multiple extensions that I'm using. One of the main extensions is React DevTools, and React DevTools is really helpful in debugging a lot of things. And then we have got other things like, for example, Zoom. That is the main application that I use for all these live streams and talking to people, talking to family, etc. So I'm actually using this particular Zoom room, and this is how my home setup looks like. Has got a big Zoom room, and whenever I want to talk to anyone, I would just go ahead and switch on this Zoom room, and I'll start talking so that it looks like we are talking in the same place or something like that. It's actually a good one, Spandan, but if you had said this first, maybe we could have made you 30 under 30 for Forbes. You missed it. And we have got Git. We know what Git can do. So it can go time travel stuff, and there are a lot of things that you can do. And then I have got item 2, Sublime Text 2 for all these HTML, CSS things. And I use VirtualBox, Vagrant, Scotchbox, Adminer for LAMP stack development. Meld is for comparison tool. I'm just going to quickly show you a thing. Like, for example, let's say this is Meld, and this actually shows a couple of things. Like, for example, I'm using a file comparison here. And now it says comparison or so Sam receives an award for Nobel Peace Prize, something like that I'm putting. And we can put Spandan receives an award for being in Forbes magazine. So if you see this, it clearly shows you what all things are changed. You can either take this on the left side or take right side on the right side, left side on the right side, or you can remove this one, or you can add this one, or you can do a lot of things. Okay, so this is really cool, and this is called Meld. It's actually a Linux-based application for differentiation of all these things. So that is something which I would like to show. So here's this thing. It kind of like shows you all the differences in between two text. So this is really cool, and I really love this. Apart from these things, we have got Node.js. Node.js is the main application that actually runs the JavaScript and stuff. And I have Fanny that is actually going to show me all these CPU heat, etc., etc. This is actually heated up a lot. And then we have got Typora. Typora is really cool. Why? Because it allows me to create README files. Right now, we are going to do a README file as well. So what are we doing right now? Portfolio making. And this is for Android Club, VITC Chennai, evolve event. Okay, something like this. So we can write something, and we can also do something on that. So this actually compiles everything as Markdown, and you will be also able to switch between the source code and the normal thing. For those people who are writing blogs, this is going to be really helpful. And what I'm going to do now is I'm also going to create a new file here, which is named as readme.md, and then I'm going to add this. And I start committing a new file, created a basic readme. Okay, and now the next thing is like that is Typora. And coming to our main hero of the session, it is VS Code. VS Code has been the best go-to editor for me for all the IDE purposes, or while creating React or something like that. And we have got these 8 different 8 different extensions. So here's my VS Code for you, for all. So this is how it looks like. And if you see the number of extensions that are installed here, that is 8 as well. So these are the different extensions that I have installed, and I'll go through the extensions later. But let me ask you a question. How many of you want to see a magic right now? Type in magic. Okay, I could see a couple of people putting magic. Nice, folks. Good one. Okay, I would also give you some more time. So go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe. Okay, so let's go ahead with the magic. Okay, so let's start with this one. So first thing that I'm gonna do is let's start with what do you call this? Let us say you want to create a user interface, which is going to be like this. Okay, I'll start drawing here. Just give me a few seconds. So in the meantime, I have seen a lot of people who are asking for magic. And 1 second, let me find something. Okay, I believe a lot of people will be having a basic idea about what HTML and CSS, right? So let's consider this document. Okay, we'll also change it to VITC Chennai, and then let's say we have got this particular document. Okay, so is the screen clear for you all? I'm gonna do an annotation here. Can I do an annotation? Seems like annotations are not enabled. Right, I'll just go to draw.io, And okay, auto draw. Start drawing, and I'll start with this drawing. Okay, so I want to create a website that contains a header. This one is a header, and there is a logo here. Sorry about my handwriting. I'm using mouse to draw, so it will be very bad. In case of any questions, I'm happy to answer. So these are like 4 different nav bars. Okay, wow. So we have nav 1, nav 2, nav 3, and nav 4. Okay, so now this one, very thin. Now this one is a header. This one is a H1. There is a link here, A, and there is a text here. And then this one is a nav. Inside the nav, you have got UL. Inside the UL, you have got 4 list items. Each and everything has got A. And then there is a text called nav1, nav2, nav3, nav4. Okay. So for doing this, you have got this particular source code. Okay. So this is the source code to create something like this. Okay. This is pure HTML. So how long do you think a person can take to create the 22 lines of code? And time starts now. Everyone, please send in your timings. Go ahead. Anadi, I'm not definitely a magician, but at least thank you for that nice one. Hey, Sam got featured. Anadi, who is Sam? Do you know him already, or her, in case if it is a girl? So how many of you, can someone put the numbers, please? No one is actually talking. No one wants goodies or something? Okay, the first person who is answering will be, okay. So Rahul says 98. What does 98 mean? I'm asking you how long for a developer it takes to write this code. How much time in minutes, how much time in seconds, or how much time in hours? Okay, 98 seconds. Okay, 98 seconds, Rahul Gandhi. Anyone else? Okay, there are like multiple answers that are getting probably 2 to 3 minutes, max 3 minutes, 2 minutes. Chinmay Bapat, 30 seconds. Okay. Great. So many numbers we are getting. How long do you take to write this code? That is the question, really. 1 minute from J. Kumar Ahan Banerjee. Okay, cool. Let's check the YouTube side. 3 minutes. Hardly 30 seconds with die. Okay, that is not Emmet. That is not Emmet. Okay, a lot of people have said between 1 minute to 30 seconds. Sorry, some people have said 30 seconds. Some people have said 1 minute to 3 minutes. Basically, and Sumit Chandra is the only person who have said 20 seconds. Sumit, if you are able to make this in 20 seconds, I don't want to do it. Okay, super. I got one person who says Samir Akhsan. So if you are able to do it within 5 seconds, I'm going to give you 1,000 rupees right now. Deala, no deala. Right. So we have got a lot of numbers right now. Okay. So let's see in a real life world how long this actually takes. Now I'm going to take this particular thing, type in stopwatch, and then it has a stopwatch here. Good. And then I'm going to put the stopwatch like here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this like this so that I can see the stopwatch in the background. And I'm going to click on start and then set. Okay, let me first set the language to HTML and then I'm going to hit the start button. Before that, I just wanted to have a quick look at this. I don't need to have a quick look at this because I know by heart. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the start. Ready? I'm going to hit the start and wait for 5 seconds. And the time when it starts 5, I will start writing the code. Is everyone okay with that? Yes. Okay, fine. So I'm going to hit the start, and at the stroke of 5 seconds, I'm going to start. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, you're all the best. So 5 seconds, I started with this. So VIT Chennai. And then I go here. I have a header. I have got a H1A. Inside the A, I have got a logo. After the logo, I have a nav. Then there is a UL. There is a LI star 4 times. And then there is a nav dollar. Boom. Stop it there. So you could see that it was at 24 or something. So 24 minus 5, it's like 19 seconds. I was able to complete the whole thing in 19 seconds. So how many of you have already seen this before? Let me do one thing. Let me format the document. If we can see if there is any differences between this and this. So this is what I did. VIT Chennai, Praveen version, something like that. So if you see the differences, there is no differences, right? Copilot is shit, to be honest, because it is not enabled for everyone. It is costly. And third thing is, it kind of do a lot of random codes, which might mess up your application. This, I have got complete control with me. Okay, how many of you already saw this? How many of you know what this is? And how many of you did not know what this is? I want the people who did not know what this is. So a lot of people know it. That's nice. Interesting. Okay, 2 people raised their hands for not knowing it, I believe. Great. This one is called as Emmet. Oops. It's not Emmet or emitting something. It's called emmet.io. And here's the complete demo for it. So what it does is you need to write CSS like abbreviations. So whatever you write in CSS, it's going to be the same here. So you do write like CSS like abbreviations and press the expand abbreviation thing. And then what happens here is once you click on the expand abbreviation, it's gonna expand it to what exactly it means. And there are like loads and loads of, stop points where you will be going and adding changes. So why this? Like how to learn all these things? So there is this thing called as documentation. I would highly recommend you to learn everything from the documentation. But who does it? How many of you lazy like me? How many of you are lazy like me? Go ahead. Again, raise your hands or put it in the message. I could see a lot of people raising their hands. So just go to the cheat sheet here. And if you go to the cheat sheet, boom, there you see all the things that we actually used. For example, I've used this child component. I've used the multiplication option. I've used ID classes. I've used the sibling operator. I haven't used the climb up operator, but instead I used the grouping operator. I used the item numbering operator. I have used all the other things like this. The text operator I used. So here you go. Okay. So these are a couple of things. HTML things. We have used this exclamation mark and all these things. So this is one of the easiest way when you learn these things. You don't need GitHub Copilot. And moreover, Emmet is something locally available, but GitHub Copilot requires internet connection. It requires artificial intelligence and other things. In case if you are going to work in a bank or something like that, and if you have a work on the web development area, you won't be easily given GitHub Copilot and other things. But Emmet, you can have it on the VS Code itself. So this comes built in with VS Code. So these are a couple of advantages of Emmet over GitHub Copilot. I don't say GitHub Copilot is bad, but at the same time, it is not there for everyone and in every use case. Okay, cool. How was that so far? Yes, Dil Nawaz, but it is not allowed for you in some restricted environments, correct? So you cannot use GitHub Copilot inside a bank application or when you are working with bank or something, but Emmet can be used in it. Yes, got it. Okay, cool. So now let's go ahead and start working on our portfolio making. So we saw the basics of some of the tips and tricks that I generally use with computers to make my life easier because I'm a lazy person. And then here you go. So the first thing that I do is I copy this code here, like this particular thing. This is the user URL of this one. So I have already sent you this URL. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the clone repository. But before that, what I want to do is this is my username. So I'm cloning it. So I'm going to put like this. And then in case if Dil Nawaz is going to clone, he or she is going to do Dil Nawaz, if that is the username. Do not change anything after this, but just change your username because you don't want to put multiple times your password, right? So just use this and then click on clone repository in VS Code. And once you do this, you paste it here. Don't make sure you don't click on this. Click on clone from URL. Once you do this, it will ask you where exactly it needs to be saved. And I will just use this particular thing. And this is the place where I wanted to have it saved. So I choose the location and I click on open. So once I do this, I would be able to see the same code here, right? So it also shows me a lot of things. So coming to the extensions that I have been using. So these are the 8 extensions that I have been using. This is a useless extension, which is just the theme. This is again a useless extension, which actually shows nice dabbas or icons for the like files and folders. To do tree, another useless extension, which actually shows you all the instances of to do here. Okay. And coming to the really helpful extensions, Prettier and ESLint. Okay. What do these two do? So let's say if I'm writing a JavaScript code, a code that no one can understand, I'm going to put like this, B equal to b.map C. And I'm going to do const D equal to B of C and return D. Something like this. Okay. So if JS gives you nightmares, what I would recommend you both to do is go to this website called javascript.info and then start learning from this. It will not give you any nightmares. This is one of the best websites I have ever seen. So don't worry about this. Okay, already there is a nightmare code here. Can you understand anything? There is only one single semicolon here, which is very bad, which is very, very bad. So what we can do is, if you just paste it here, look how it has changed it. So the first thing is, okay, before that, I'll just copy this one and send it to you all. So if you see that I have written only one semicolon, but look at here, there are 3 semicolons already. And look at here, I have added multiple parentheses, which are not even required. Now it has removed all these parentheses. I have written every single code in one single line, no spaces. It looks like a minified code, but look at this. It is very much readable for humans and you are able to work with this. Got it? So this is done by Prettier and ESLint. And that's about Prettier and ESLint. Then we have got GitLens. GitLens is another awesome thing. So what it does is, we Indians love to blame people, right, for everything. So it is actually a blaming tool. So if you see this, it actually shows you who did what and when. So if you look at the page here closely, you can see that it was created by you 4 days ago or something like that. And in simple terms, if I go to my readme.md, it also shows me Praveen Kumar Purushothaman 16 minutes ago on April 14th, he made this mistake. Got it? So that's about the Git history. GitLens. And there is this final thing called Git history. No, I have got one more thing. I'll show you what that makes as well. So this will show you everything that you want without going to GitHub at all. You don't need GitHub anymore. You don't need to go to GitHub page anymore. You can maintain everything. You can manage everything from VS Code. That is the reason why I love VS Code a lot. Okay, coming back to what this does. We have got this particular ES7 React Redux native and stuff like that. So for those people who are working with React and Redux, I'll show you what exactly this does. In simple terms, if you want to do a console.log, boom, you got a console log. So you can say, hey, VITC. Now, let's say you want a class component, a React class component. Boom, you got a React class component. Then you want a React functional component with an export. Boom, you have got a React functional component with an export. You want an import React, done. You want an import React router, done. You want import React React with props and component types, React DOM. Everything is here. So if you see this, this is going to be really helpful for when you are starting to work on a lot of things. So this is really helpful for you. So that's something which I wanted to tell you about ES7. So these are the different tools and plugins that I'm using. So shall we also do one more? Shall we also see one more simple magic? Last magic. I promise. There are no more magics after this. How many of you want this magic now? Okay. So to see this magic, can I request all of you to once subscribe to my YouTube channel? Please. Here's the link. Okay, let's see this big magic. Come on, hit the subscribe. I'll wait for it. Okay, magic starts in 1 minute. The great Kirigalan magic show. Okay, so in your computer, if you press, okay, is everyone ready? Have you all subscribed to my YouTube channel? Thank you. Okay, the moment I press this dot button in my keyboard and leave it, it's going to do something. Look what is happening inside my browser. That's my browser, okay? And it is showing me a VS Code instance here. So I really don't need to install VS Code, but this is a VS Code inside browser. How many of you know that VS Code is actually a HTML, CSS, and JavaScript application? So whatever you are learning right now for building your portfolio is actually the same technologies and same syntax that's been used to create VS Code as well. VS Code is an Electron application, and it has been using the same features for this application as well as for this application. Cool, right? How many of you don't know about this part? If you press dot button, it goes to your VS Code. It opens up a VS Code inside your browser. How many of you have not seen this? How many of you are looking at this for the first time? Put it in your chats. Put it in the chats. Is it going interesting? Thank you, Bhavya and Shivansh. A lot of people have also messaged, had no clue, etc. Good. First time. Nice one. Thanks. I hope it was helpful for you all. Okay, cool. So the next thing that we are going to do is let's start working with basic portfolio. Okay. So considering the time that we have got right now, a lot of people from from the team have said we need to make it in a simple way and faster way. Okay, that is accepted. And let's go ahead and okay. Before that, we should look at a couple of themes which are already done by people. So we will look at those things. There is this website called as Start Bootstrap. And this Bootstrap themes are going to help us start with the projects that we want. And also the good part about this is they're all free and open source as well. Okay. I'm not sure if it is open source, but definitely they are free. So if you go to the browse templates and themes, you have got all these things. Let's remove the pro because we are not in a position to afford. We are not learning Angular. We are not learning Vue. We are just looking at HTML, and already we could see a lot of things. There is this freelancer portfolio. There is an agency. We don't want the agency here. There is one per page creative theme here. Let's have a look at that. There is a simple sidebar theme here. There is also this grayscale theme here. Clean blog. Anyone who wants to write a blog, you can use this. How many of you want to do your own resume website? You can use this one. And we have got a stylish portfolio. We have got a landing page, but this is not going to be useful for us. In case if you want to do a coming soon page, it is here. Then we have also got a modern business website, which we are not going to use. And do we have any other free portfolio websites? I don't think so. There are also other different portfolio websites. Let me think of something. Just give me a few seconds. In the meantime, you can also put your ideas and let's see. Okay, there is another website called bootstrapmade.com. Let me open that. Okay, here you go. So if I open bootstrapmade.com, this is also free Bootstrap templates. And if I go to templates and if I go to portfolio, there are 9 portfolio different websites. Look at these things. They all look really, really cool. And they are all free as well, I believe. I don't know why they are putting us buy, but if you click on the download, you still have this free download here. So if you click on the free download, boom, you have got it downloaded in simple terms. And if you see the live preview as well, you can see how this page looks like. And if you want to use this thing, there are like so many different designs here. Let's try using Kelly Adams and see how this looks like. Yep, it is also free. If you see the live demo, it looks like this. For those people who wants to use this, clicking on About Me opens up like this, and it looks like this. It's open source and free. Resume is also here. This is really nice, right? Like these things. And then we have got services. I guess no one will be putting services, but go for portfolio, where you can actually add some portfolio pages, like what all things that you have designed so far, something like that. And there is obviously a contact form that will be helpful for a lot of people. Cool. Awesome. So nice. So these are a couple of portfolio websites which I wanted to show you, and it's going to get us start with you all. So this is going to be really helpful. So would you like to suggest any one of the portfolio website here? What do you suggest in that case? Any suggestions? Okay, suggest a design. Like there are like so many designs here. So we have got, okay, we will start with, there is this freelancer. Let's do the view preview. So this is how the freelancer website looks like. And then we have got this creative one-page portfolio. So we need to start with something, right? So this looks nice as well. All these things are responsive too. So for example, in case if you are here and then try to like reduce the size, look at this. It actually aligns with your image or something. I mean, like with your device size or something like that. So this is really cool. Then we have got this resume. Let's see the live preview here. Then this looks like this. It looks like this in tablet. It looks like this in mobile, and it looks like this in the desktop. Then we have got the stylus portfolio. Let's see how this looks. I haven't seen this one. It looks like this. If I click on this one, it has got all these sections here, and then what we offer, what are the recent projects. There is a map here. Then there is this particular thing. There is this Brandon Johnson, my resume. Let's use my demo. Let's take the first 3 or first 4, all right, or first 5. And then just tell me which we want to use it. Okay, so this is a one-page portfolio, a single-page portfolio. And this one is like multiple page portfolio, which has got each and everything, like 5 different pages for about, resume, services, portfolio, and contact us page. And then we have got Laura. This one is this is also a single page portfolio. It looks almost similar to the previous one. It has got some services page and stuff like that. Then we have got Emily Jones portfolio. This is like this one, and it has got a lot of things. This graphic designer might actually change. That is what I feel, but it doesn't change. And it looks like, whoa, it's got some nice effects. So if you give the home, it just says graphic designer, nothing else. So we have resume, we have got services, we have got portfolio, we have got contact us page. The fun part is this looks like it's also a single page portfolio, but at one point of time, there is not, everything is not being shown, only one thing is shown. And finally, we have got this guy, Alex Smith portfolio, and this one looks like this. So this has the same effect as what I have in my website, and this is also cool. So you have got a single page portfolio. It has got all these things. There is a resume, there's a portfolio. It's like almost all these things have got the similar stuff, but in a small variation. That's it. So go ahead. Tell me, should we choose something? Okay, I'm getting one point for Alex Smith. Good. Anyone else would like to choose anything? So should we, Brandon Johnson? Because this is Brandon Johnson. Okay, Brandon Johnson won. Alex Smith won. Okay, who? Let's tie between these two, Brandon Johnson and Alex Smith. And seems like Alex Smith is getting more number of votes now. So should we go with Alex Smith then? Shall we go with Alex Smith, everyone? Because it has got these nice, awesome things, etc. Okay, so what we are going to do now is we are clicking on free download here. Let's use the free download. And then we got iPortfolio as free download. So I'm just going to close all the tabs here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this folder. I've got like so many things here. So if I go to our stream here, stream folder, and this is the page. This is the what do you call this? This is the folder that has got all these things. So in this iPortfolio, you have forms, you have a contact PHP file. In case if you want to work with SMTP stuff, you can actually do this one as well, which is cool. And these are the assets. So predominantly, I guess we will be using a PHP based server for this one. Okay, so iPortfolio is the thing. We don't require this change log, and we need this inner page as well. Okay, this is just an example template. We can get rid of this. This is one of the portfolio details. In case if we are using this, we can use it. We don't need this README file. We can get rid of this README file as well. So what we can do is there are a couple of assets and other things. So totally it is 12.3 MB. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this whole thing, put it inside this. Now, if I go to my VS Code, I could see that there are 101 changes here. Added iPortfolio theme. And then I press the tick button. And then if I click on the sync changes, I would be able to see that, okay, it takes some time. If I refresh the page, I could see that all these things, added iPortfolio theme is also here. And everything has been updated as well. Okay, super. So now the next thing that we are going to do is we will start working inside the index.html. And then the good part is either we can have it as a dynamic generation or anything else. Okay, how many of you want it to be dynamically generated? How many of you want to be want to work on the HTML and CSS part? So let's have a small poll. So this is the HTML and CSS here. So once I save it, it actually updates the content here. So just a second, let me quickly check what exactly is the prettier settings I have got. Should be more than, yes, it is perfect. Okay, cool. So what is the difference between the two? So if for one thing, what we are going to do is one will be having all these, you need to know HTML and CSS for changing all these things. So first thing, what I'm going to do is I have updated the, so every time when I do a change, I'm going to update it in the source control as well. Updated the indentation, something like this. Second thing, what I'm saying is like, so for creating the, how many of you have heard of JSON? The language called JSON, like it's not a language, it's kind of like JSON is an object thing. JSON, you can actually say JSON is a schema. So this is how a JSON looks like. And all you need to do is add some JSON content, and then you will be able to get this whole website done. That is one type of automating things. And second thing is you have to manually go ahead and change all these things. So you can also do that. So since we are going to use a PHP based stuff, but before that, since we are going to update everything in HTML, we will be converting everything into HTML as well. That is also we are going to do. And yeah, please let me know what we are going to do. Should we go with the HTML CSS part? It might take a bit longer, but we will be able to do for one person. If we are doing the PHP and JSON style part, it takes a bit more longer, but we will be able to do a reusable application which everyone can use. Which one should we go? Okay, I'm getting JSON is good. That's a good idea. Okay. Anyone else? JSON or HTML? Okay, JSON and PHP again from Gopi. Okay, great. JSON. So you'll be also learning something called as PHP, which is one of the backend languages, which is nice. Okay, there are like so many answers I have got so far. So HTML, PHP, JSON, both. We'll try both. So we'll start with HTML, or like let's start with JSON PHP. Okay. So what we are going to do now is, so you will also understand how this thing works. So I'm going to use a terminal here to run the PHP based server. So I'm using PHP-s localhost 80. For Unix based machines like Mac and Linux, please use sudo, because port number 80 is requires you to run on the admin privileges. So this is going to take some time. Okay. So now what we are going to do here is, since this is running here, if I try to open this in localhost is a loopback IP address. You can either use 127.0.0.1 or you can use localhost. So when you run localhost, you're getting this Alex Smith page. Okay, this is super cool, right? So now the first thing is to get this image. So this is a 600 by 600 square image. So since I don't want to put my photo or any one of your photo, we will try to use a Pikachu photo. Okay, so before that, I need to find a Pikachu photo. For that, I have already tried working on something. Let me try getting it. It's called a link tree or something like that. Link tree clone or something like that. So let's try using link. Okay, there is a CS link tree pro. I'm not sure if this is gonna work, but let me see. If you want to find a preview of one particular HTML file from the GitHub repositories, you can use something called as rawgit. I guess it's raw.githack. No, not this one. So you just put the folder file and then you're just going to use this one. So you could see that this is Coding Society's one. Okay. So let's see if there is anything else that is related to Linktree that we created. So repositories. We have got Linktree, another Linktree. Let's try to use this one and see if this works. So let's go back, paste it here, copy it, paste it here again. Okay, this is one of my friend's Linktree. And let's try finding out if there is any other Linktree. Okay, there is Billy Hack's Linktree. A lot of Linktrees are for the particular hackathon or hack event. So let's try this one. Okay, even this is like, so nothing has got a sample image. Okay, let's use a sample image of Pikachu, and then display pic. And then if I open some of the images, if I try to use image size as 512 x 512, I'll be able to get a square picture. So let's find something really cool. So this looks nice. Or yeah, we'll just go with this one. And oops, I'm not saving the image. Instead, I'm just opening it in a new tab. This is not available. Great. That's not a square image. So let's use this image. I know it is looking weird. So this is looking weird. Okay, we'll just use Pikachu alone with image size 512 by 512. Okay, this seems to be perfect. So let's open the image in a new tab. This looks really like a good profile picture. So I'm going to use imgur.com because this is one of the, how should I say? This is one of the content delivery network and do not ever hot link images. So that's the main reason why we are saying like we will go with a image hosting service like imgur. And I'm going to put H here so that if you see the size of this image by going to the network, and then if I try without H, it's gonna get you 221 KB. But if I add a H at the end of the URL and refresh it once, I would be getting 26.5 KB, which is very small. So I'm going to use that. And first thing what I want is, okay, so this needs to be converted into PHP first. Okay, so what all things that you want? So I'm going to save this as content.json. Okay, so this is going to be content.json. Instead of using this as index.html, for now, let it be index.html. And I'm going to say like small change, created a content.json. Okay, now, instead of having this index.html, I'm going to, okay, first thing is we want this JSON file to have a display pic. Okay, that is the first thing. Or should we make it as avatar? Avatar, right? So let's use it as avatar and then added an avatar. Okay, now we need a generation file. Okay, I'm just going to copy the whole thing, create a new file and save it as gen.php. Okay, so this file is going to generate the contents of whatever we have got here. Okay, so the first thing that we want is we have got the avatar, and let's go to this guy. So if you go to gen.php as well, it is going to show me the same thing. There's no difference, but you can make it take the content from the JSON file and then display. And second thing is we have got the name of the person. So let's put first name as Pikachu, second name like last name as detective. Okay, some people will have two names, so for them we have to use this. And then you have got all the social numbers. Okay, so before that, first thing is the personal info. So let's make it as, so for any questions you have got. So this is the JSON format. The format is very much readable by humans, and you can easily understand the format as well, right? So we have got personal info as a section, and then you have got avatar, which is a URL of an image, and first name and last name are first name and last name of a person. So any questions that you have got so far? No questions, right? Okay, so we will try to wrap up this session as quick as possible because we are already running out a lot of time. So we are running out of time. So that's something which I wanted to tell. How many of you are still awake in the YouTube channel? Right. Okay. The next thing that we are going to do is about the social networks. Okay. So how many social networks have they got here? Let's have a look at this. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Skype, and LinkedIn. Anything else you wanted to add in this social networks? maybe we can add GitHub. So wait, let's start with. So this is the basic thing that we created a gen file and updated JSON. Now let's start writing the social network part. Social networks. We can start with Twitter. We'll start with null values. Facebook. Oops. Null. LinkedIn. Null. Instagram. Null. What else do we have? Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. Let's say GitHub. Null. Okay, so we created the null values for social network. Added social network. Okay, and I'll just sync the changes. So far, any question? Is it going good, boring, or should I do it in a different way? Please put a small message that how many of you are awake. Okay, GitHub is what even everyone from the YouTube is saying. Okay, so now the next thing is these things can be okay, and then here is something that is keeping on changing. So, and one more thing, there is a big background image as well here. Okay, so what we will do is let's use a background image. And for this background image, we want something really big. Okay, so let me try to inspect this image and find out how this big image is looking like. There is this header. There is this. No, this is this one. Do you have any background images here? Section. This has the hero BG. Okay, so this one looks like 1920.1280px. Okay, it's a big image. Okay, so 1920.1280px. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a developer image. Okay, so what we can write here is you can use something like unsplash.com. Okay, in Unsplash you can find a lot of images. Developer. So now I guess this particular image looks better because there is no one in particular here. So, and the size of it is 1261 by 762, which we can actually update it. We want 1920 by 1080. So if you see 1280 is what we wanted, but it's okay. This looks really good. So I'm just going to copy this image, put it over here. It's going to update, upload, take some time, says upload complete. Okay, open this here and let's use the H version. H version is 1024. Let's see L version. L version is smaller, so let's go with H version itself, which is at least to an extent better. And we will use this as the background image. Now, to set these background images and avatars, what we will be doing is, first thing is, let's just add it. Oh, background. Now, you will be learning both the things, how we are editing the HTML as well as how we are bringing all these things. So inside the gen.php, the first thing we need to do is we need to bring in the PHP's, like the JSON file. Okay, so I'm going to do config as the JSON because it's a configuration, or maybe we can use as content JSON. We need to first parse the JSON. It's going to be a text file, right? So JSON decode, this is going to be the string. So file get contents of which file I want the content.json. Okay. Now, if I do a couple of things, so if I do like a PHP echo or like var dump content and then die here. Before that, I wanted to also set a header content type text bar plain. So this is going to give you a plain text output for the gen file. Okay, so this is the localhost /gen. If I refresh this page, I would be getting something like standard class. I don't want this. I want it as a array. So I'm going to put true And if I refresh this page, I could see that this is an array which contains a personal info, and then it has got avatar. Avatar has got the image, background image has got this, social networks has got all these null values. So this is a PHP file. You don't need to worry much about it, but we will see how we can edit these things. Okay. So now what we are going to do is, we'll get rid of this guy. Now we know that the content file works. So in the content, we have got what? Personal info and avatar is there, right? So now what I'm going to do is, wherever I see this profile image, there are 3 places I see profile image. I'm going to put PHP echo $content personal info avatar. And then I'm going to put the semicolon here and save it. So once I do this, if I refresh this page, nothing happens. Okay, this is the wrong place where I updated it. So I'm just going to copy everything and put it over here and undo this one. It's good that I can why is it not getting updated? Undo. Okay. Okay, if I save this, everything is gone, right? Superb. So I'm not touching the index.html at all after this. Okay. So now if I do this, save it, all these things, and then if I refresh this page, I'm able to see that Pikachu's picture is coming instead of this one. So now I need to update this Alex Smith everywhere. So wherever this, and moreover, this title is not the right thing. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to start with the PHP again. Echo $content. And again, the personal info, right? Personal info. And then I'm going to add first name. Or I can also do something like this, like template literals. I can do first name, last name, and I can give portfolio. So if I save this and refresh this page, I could see Pikachu Detective portfolio. Okay, so this is the first name, last name, both having content, right? So now I need to find out wherever the Alex Smith is there. Okay, so I'll just do Alex Smith. There are multiple places where Alex Smith is there, so I'm just gonna replace everywhere. Refresh, Pikachu Detective, and in simple terms, okay, updated. No, what all things did we change here? Title we changed, image we changed, updated the image and avatar and name. Great. Now we have completed the personal info part. So wherever you see Alex Smith, it is going to show as Pikachu Detective, and we have got this part. And now we will try to work on this contact address. Oh, we also need to do this background image as well. So we have got this background image, personal info. Unfortunately, the way you need to update us by using any questions at all. Is everything okay? You need to use this hero, and then you need to have this whole style component changed. So what I'm going to do is, inside the gen.php at the end, I'm going to use a style tag and then add this one. I don't need this width. I don't need this height. I don't need this background size. All I need is these things. So now I just have this one single line. Let's have this one single line, and this will override the CSS. So this URL is going to be, again, I'll just go back to this particular thing, which has this echo. This is the avatar, right? I don't want the avatar, but instead I want the personal info background image. I save the background image and refresh this page. I would be getting totally a different background image. All you need to do is change the JSON file. Okay, now one question for you all. So who wants to have a ball? Who wants to change this content.json? Who wants to be the volunteer here? I want your first name and last name right now. Whoever comes first, I'm going to add that. Anyone? And if possible, if you have a picture of yourself, you can also send that. We can use you as a person to create your own portfolio and then update it as well. Anyone? Okay, we haven't got any answers yet. How many of you are awake? How many of you are here? Okay, Aniket. Okay, so who wants to have your name here? Tell me that. I can see that people are here. Okay, fine. Who wants to have your name here? Just give me your first name and last name. In case if you don't want to use you as your, if you don't want to create your own portfolio here, it's fine. We will go with Pikachu itself. Fine. Okay, the next thing that we will be looking at is we just updated the background and other things. So the next thing is about the social links. So now what we want to do is we'll be going through the social networks. Okay. And it is easier to be done using JavaScript, but in case if it is, since we are using PHP, it might be a bit difficult. So let's use this way. And in PHP, what we need to do is we also need to do a mapping function. For example, we have got this class Twitter, class Instagram, then there is this BXL, right? So we need to find something for the GitHub as well. So what is there for the GitHub? Box icons. Okay, let's try finding box icons. Okay, this is a premium web-friendly icons for free. Okay, good, GitHub. So we have GitHub as well. So in this case, if we try to change this particular BXL Skype to BXL GitHub, we should be able to get the GitHub. Okay, great, that works. Now the next thing that we are going to do is, let's go ahead. Let's start with GitHub here. And now here's the Google Plus. Who is using Google Plus really? So if we save this and refresh it, it shows this way. And what does this Google Plus does? There's nothing related to Google Plus or something. Okay, cool. So we really don't need this classes at all here, I believe. Okay, excellent. Oh, I'm sorry. You don't need these classes. If I refresh this page, it still works, which is great. Now, the next thing that I'm going to do is I need to loop through the social networks. So for each dollar variable as dollar key equal to variable. So what is the variable? It's going to be content social networks as network link. Okay. What I need to do now is if $link, then do echo something. Okay. I want it to be echoing out this whole thing. Something like this. Now, the first thing is I need to get this Twitter, Facebook, Insta, GitHub, and LinkedIn. These are the 5 different things that we are also working off, right? So we have got the same thing here as well. I know this is not the right way to do. So Twitter is correct. Facebook is correct. Instagram is correct. GitHub is correct. LinkedIn is correct. Okay. So what we will do is we will just get the version as like lowercase version. Okay, so this one should be question mark PHP Oh, no. We are already inside the PHP, right? So what we can do is string to lower of $network. And then for the link, we can just use this here. So href is equal to $link. Okay. So if we try to use this right now, I don't think it shows anything because all these things are null values. So if I refresh this page, it still shows everything because I forgot to remove all these 5 things again. Okay, now it should not show anything at all. Let's say I have got only Facebook and Twitter. So I'll put https fb.me/PraveenScience and let's use Twitter. Twitter.com/PraveenScience. If I refresh this page, I get only Twitter and Facebook. Cool. So this is an easy way of changing things, and then you are getting this whole thing done. So I'm gonna remove all these usernames. I'm gonna put https linkedin.com, Instagram, https Instagram/whatever, https github.com/whatever. If I refresh this one, you have these things. In case if you want to change your order, like for example, I would like to have LinkedIn as the first one, Twitter as the second one, Facebook to the last really, and GitHub as the third one, Insta as fourth, then boom, even that is possible. So these things you can actually do. So I have added the social networks dynamically. So this is one more thing which we can use the gen.php to do it. And then the next thing is this thing, we'll just leave it like this. And here it goes. I'm a developer, I'm a this, that, those, these things. So this typing data, it needs to change. So that can be given in the intro section. So in the intro section, we have got only this one. So intro section, instead of doing intro section, we can do who are you or what. Can someone give me one nice variable for this? The different hats that you wear, developer, programmer, freelancer, etc. What do you call this as an array? What array is this? Come on, folks, give me some ideas. Aniket, anything? Rahul?
Yes, sir. What ideas?
Which one? Which one? What shall we name it as? So these things, the different type of roles. Okay, Ahan Banerjee, thank you. This is nice. So we'll use roles, and then it is going to be an array. Okay. So Ahan, what all roles would you like to have it here? Since you answered, I would like to give you the chance to write some roles. Come on, first thing will be developer, student, then anything special. What are you good at, Ahan? Anyone, anything? Let me check the YouTube side of things. If someone has answered, okay, YouTube is sleeping, really. I don't know what happened. Okay. Oh, wow. Nice ones. Let's go for it. Problem solver, gamer, writer. Nice. Okay, these are really good. So we'll just save this one. And then now in the gen.php, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, where's the other thing? Where is this one? There was, so this we need to include. It's an array, right? So content roles, that is what we are going to use, roles, but we need to implode it as an array. Implode Implode is a function. It is similar to JSON join function of an array. So we can put a command space. Now, if I refresh this page, I am a developer. Pikachu Detective is a developer. Student, great. Problem solver, which was created by a Han. Okay. Gamer by Robino. And Rider by J. Kumar. Cool. So that worked. So this page, we are able to make it work perfectly. And then we have got this about section. So let's start working on the about section. So right now, the first main section, main page completed. By the way, any questions that anyone who have got any questions so far? Coming to the main page here, we will start with main page. Or it's not main page, it's the about page, right? So this is the home page, this is the about page. So about. So you have a description, okay? Descript. We'll just put desk. And can someone write a nice description for yourself? I'll add this here. And then we have got a big thing which says designation. Then we have got designation description. So we can put desk. I want content for all these things. So one quick content, one designation, and one designation information. And then we have a birthday, website, age. Really? Okay. We have a details section in which you want, whatever you want to write, you can write. I'm going to put birthday. March 95. Then we have got website. Praveen.science. We have phone. We can give us 440. We have got city. Okay. Come on, anyone? I guess someone is typing really right now, so I'll wait for them. Age. I don't want to put age anywhere here. So instead of age, I would like to give education or something. Education, cloud computing degree, then work, VITC. VITC means I'm not doing anything. So email, don't spam at Praveen.science. Freelance, available, something like this. Okay, anyone ready with description, designation, and designation description? In case if no one is available, I'm just going to use it from my LinkedIn. Okay. So if you see this one, what I'm going to do here is I'll just copy something from, I'll just use this one. It's okay. It's going to be a dummy thing, right? So description is going to be this. A comma instead of this one, which looks nice. And designation, I would say full stack JavaScript developer, specialist, and YouTuber. Designation description. What am I doing as a full stack developer? Working with JavaScript, specifically React.js and Node.js, and creating awesome content on YouTube. That's what I do as a full stack JavaScript specialist and YouTuber. What else? I guess this is enough. Okay. So we have written the about content. Is there any other content in about really? Let's see. Oh, we have got this facts and we have got some numbers as well. Okay. So for this facts and numbers, what are all these things? This is again some BI icons, again some icons. What kind of icons are these things? Oh, there are bootstrap icons. Okay, so now we have to write something about these bootstrap icons as well. So let's try writing something here. So 4 icons we need. So before that, we need to also write some facts. Wait, designation is here. Designation description is here. And then there is one more about description. So after this, all details are over. I'm going to use an about desk. And I'm going to write some paragraph here. So I guess I'll just take it again from my website. So that should be this one. And one tip is like have these kind of like information with you ready so that anytime someone will ask you for who are you, or like you might get into a job. So be ready with these things. Right, telling about yourself is one of the most toughest questions. So make sure you do that. And cool. So we have got this about description. Then what else do we have? Then facts. So let's add facts. And facts has got 2 things. One is a description of the facts. So doing a lot of work these days. Something like that we can do. And then these things, right? So fact info. We can call this one as fact counters. And then each counter, there can be maximum 4 counters. So each counter has got an icon. There is value. There is heading or else title. And there is a description. Okay, so if you want to get all these things, so let's say how many projects I have done. So I'll just put projects done. Then I'm gonna use another one which says 4 things I need to put, right? So there are 4 here. We'll start with values like, so let's say 100 projects completed. 75 clients called, 30 offers received. And one last thing. Okay. 200 hours coded, something like this. Okay. And these are called bootstrap icons, right? Bootstrap icons. And if we open that, we have got all these icons here. So it's about projects. So we can use some kind of like archive or something like that. Okay, let's use archive here. Icon is archive. Then we have got clients called phone call. Do you have any phone call here? Is there a way to search these things? Will be helpful. Oh yes, phone. We can use the headset, which is nice. Okay, headset, 100 clients called. Then offers received. We can use page, like file or document. We can use file check. This looks nice. Offers received. And then hours coded. Computer. We can use something like a computer. Or do we have code? Yeah, we have got code square. Copy and then add this. So now we should be using this for all these stuff. So if I save this, this is going to be the about page. And then let's try writing these things here as well. So about has the first description here. So we can just quickly copy some of this one. So if we see the content, we have got about and desk. So we save this and open this gen file. You'll be able to see that, yeah, this is actually written here. And here we have got a role, I believe. About has got designation. The next thing is, how do I add the designation here? So, okay, so look at this. Even here, your picture has been changed, which is nice, right? Now this is the designation. So let's start with this one. Designation. I'm refreshing it. I'll be getting full stack JavaScript specialist and YouTuber. Then this is some kind of that italic thing. I guess it is the design. Okay, design desk. Design desk. No. Desig desk. Desig desk. Right, working with JavaScript, specifically these things, creating awesome content on YouTube and stuff like that. Now, here I have to work on something like this. So what I need to do is call LG6 is here, but instead, okay, I need to break this into 4, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, what we can do is this is weird to do this. But we'll just convert this into an array, and then we can add here this way. Okay, so there are two arrays, so we can use details of one and then use that here. So my PHP, I'm going to use a for each tag, and then for the for each one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to about details. This is the array. So content of about.details. So this is going to be 0. And then we have got, so I'm hard coding a lot of things. So so that's because we have got a limited time. So we are doing a lot of hard coding here. So sorry about that. We are just going to use one of this here. And this one, we have got the strong here. The value is, okay, so key value is there, right? So I'm going to put a key here, echo $key. And here we'll be using echo $value. The same way, I'm going to remove these three things and then add this one here. Same code, but different section. So if I save this and refresh this page, boom, these are all my details that I took from the JSON file. So that worked. And then finally changing this paragraph here. So in the content.json, we have got about desk here. So all I need to do is about desk. So if I refresh this page, I'll be getting this also changed, and cool. Then coming to the facts. So we'll just copy this part, and the facts section comes here, and let's add this one here, about facts desk. Now if we refresh this page, I have been doing a lot of work these days, and we need to also update this one. So now what we are going to do is we need to find out what exactly is the repeatable thing. This is the repeatable thing that is actually repeating everywhere. So I'm just gonna get the other things removed. So for the past three things, so we'll go ahead and remove this one. And then this is the repeatable stuff. So we'll start with the PHP for each, and then the same thing. Now here is the repeater thing that's going to come in. I'm going to put this one here. Okay, once I put this here, I need to update a couple of things. So let me copy this one. Now we have got all these things, right? So let me remove this one. So we have got BI emoji smile. Here's the icon that needs to be added. So in this one, we have got variable as, so we need to use facts counters about facts counters. Okay, so dollar content. Okay, what we can do is we'll just copy this whole thing. All we need to change is the counters here. Counters is going to be an array, right? Yes, counters is an array as counter. So for this counter, what is it? It's going to be icon. So counter of icon. And we have got this pure counter end. It's going to be value, right? Value. And we have got duration 1 second class pure counter. So this is the title, I guess. Title and desk. Title. Desk. If I save this and refresh this page, I hope it works. Woo! There you go. So we can see that 100 projects completed with this one, clients called with this one, but why is it not correctly working here? We do this way, maybe it should work, I guess. There you go. 100 projects completed, 75 clients called, 30 offers received, 200 hours coded. All these things are completely changeable. So content.json is here, and you can start working on these things and added, completed the about page. So this is done. Now the next part is like, so this is going to do this. We are going to do the same thing for all these things. So now what we can do is we can just right click, view source. And then once you have just changed only these things, immediately you can go to our index.html. And then instead of this, you can just paste it here and then updated the index page. So we have done this one. Now I have synced all the changes. The next thing that I'm going to do is, are you all ready for deploying this whole thing? How many of you are ready for deploying this? And we are going to make this public as well. So if I go back to the particular repository and refresh it, I would be able to see this updated index page. Now, coming to the settings and go to the pages and click on main branch and save. Once you do this, it says your site is ready to be published at this website. Okay. So if you open this website right away, it will not work. So refresh this page once again and go to the code. You could see there is an orange blob here. If you click on the details, it is going to do the build here. So it is doing all these things using a Jekyll build pages. And you just need to wait for some more time to get all these things completed. So it is doing the checking out, it's doing the build paging page, and then it is also doing the artifact uploads. Then this part has been completed. If you refresh this, there are a couple of things that's happening. The deploy process is the main thing. So it started 6 seconds ago. It is requested the Ubuntu mission to write. And if you keep on refreshing this one, it is deploying it to the GitHub pages. Setting up job is done. Reported is also successful. So most probably completed job has come. Now, if you open this in a new window, boom, there you go. Whatever we have written so far, it is available. So if you open this website, you will be able to see this, but you don't want to have something .github.io/VITC portfolio making, blah, 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 right? So what we can do is how many of you, so since we worked with Pikachu and Pokemon, how many of you like Jigglypuff? How many of you like to work on Jigglypuff development server? Just type in Jiggly. Anyone? Okay, cool. So there are multiple people who are saying yes. So this is just a domain name which I created for myself, and we can host our VITC portfolio here. So what we are going to do is I'm going to get into Cloudflare, which is the domain management application that I'm using for myself. And this is one of the best because it gives you free SSL and other things. And I could see a lot of people. Ishik, you haven't heard of Jigglypuff? Oh my God. This is Jigglypuff. Isn't she cute? Okay, so Sanjana is ready to work on Jigglypuff development server, which is cool. So what we are going to do is we are going to click on login, and I'm gonna not show you all these things. So username and password is also secret. So I'm just gonna quickly log into the dashboard. So once I log in, I'll just share the screen. So the dashboard is loading, and these are the different websites I might have. So even that I'm not going to show. So I'll just filter out with just Jiggly, and we can see that jig.win is here. So once I go into this one, so within few minutes, we are going to complete the publishing of the site. Once we are done with the publishing of site, we can open up for the question and answer sessions. So be alert. Okay, now going to the DNS. Now here's the main thing. So we will be changing all these DNS things. So I'm gonna add a record for the DNS records. So here I'm going to use a CNAME record. Okay, a CNAME record means canonical name record, and canonical name record actually copies another website's configuration. Okay, so right now what we have got VITC. So VITC.jig.win is going to be our application, like, right? So we will just put it here. We are not going to press OK because it is not going to work. CNAME, what kind of a configuration it should copy? We'll use domain.github.io, and then it is going to be proxied. So I'm going to press the save. So once I press the save, what about www version? So I'm going to use another CNAME again. So let's open CNAME again, www.vitc. And then we'll use domain.github.io. And then I'm going to click on save. So once I do these two things, I would be able to see that there are two CNAMEs here, which are pointing to domain.github.io. Okay. Now let's close this one. Now, if I kind of like, okay, I know I shouldn't do it right away. So I'm just going to open it. It shows me there isn't the GitHub pages site here, and it is also secured. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this URL, vitc.jig.win, go back to my settings page, and then in the settings, there is pages. In that, there is something called as custom domain. I'm going to click on save here. Once I click on save, it takes a long time, and then it's going to come up with a successful message. So let's wait for some more time. Boom, custom domain is saved now. Okay, it is going to do all the DNS check and other things. Don't worry about that. If you go back to this, it is going to do the deployment once again. So if you go back to this build, it starts building. It's going to wait for the runner to pick this up job. And then it should have done already. Seriously, it is actually slow. So we just need to wait for a couple of minutes, or no, not a couple of seconds. So if we refresh this page, maybe it worked. Nope. Okay, seems like, okay, let's have a, we are very impatient right now. So let's try using GitHub status and see if there is anything that is down, because generally it will not be this slow. We will see any incident that happened today. April 13th, yesterday something happened. Okay, it's again GitHub actions. So these are GitHub actions as well. I hope this does not, now it's going to be slow. Okay, we just need to wait for some time. Looks like a lot of people are currently using GitHub actions at the moment. So we'll just wait for some time. And yes, we got a runner here. It's gonna run this whole code, and be ready with your question and answers. So only if you are asking anything, you're gonna get something. And for those people who have been interactive so far, I'm gonna give some nice goodies. And now it is actually building all these things. Let me quickly check if there is any questions from YouTube side of things. Hey, Ayush. Hi, Praveen. You have any idea about Angela U Web Development Bootcamp? And can you tell me if it is good to start learning? Okay, I guess it is from Udemy, and it is really, really good. A lot of people have actually asked me about it, and I personally also looked into it, and it looks nice. So go ahead. Yes, that's a good way. But if you want something for free, what I would suggest is go for Free Code Camp or javascript.info. They are really, really unmatched, very good content. Okay. So let's go back to this guy. It has completed these jobs. Now deploying again, we need to wait for this hosted runner. Is everyone ready with your questions? Okay. We are almost coming to the end. Once this deployment is over, we will be able to see that this particular website has been hosted. So let's refresh this page again. Seems like a lot of people are actually using the site. Please just give me one chance. So let's refresh again. I don't want to time out all these things, but just wait for it. Okay, in the meantime, I'm happy to answer any questions. Aniket, would you like to ask if there is any questions at all? We can start answering questions while this runs or builds. Already one person. Okay, so Ayush says, okay, you got it from free. Like, okay, that's nice. Awesome. Thanks, Ayush. You're a lucky person. And by the way, folks, we just have till 11:30 my time, which is going to be just 10 more minutes. If you're not making use of this time, then it's useless. So I refresh this page. I guess the deployment is done, and evaluated environment URL is also this one. If I open this thing, boom, VITC.jig.win. It has got this Pikachu detector. And in case if you want to change this to your own names and other things, all you need to do is send a pull request to this code. So here, and you just need to change this gen.php, and the whole thing will be taken care of PHP and runs it. Okay, cool. Any questions at all? So I guess we are good to stop the screen share, and happy to answer any of the questions that you might have. Okay, Harish says, what are some resources you would suggest for PHP? Good question. So for PHP, I started with a book called PHP for Dummies, but it is no more updated, but still something like that will give you a good start. It is by Janet Valladay, and I'm still looking to meet that person. She's actually in the UK or US. I'm not sure. I need to find out. I still haven't got any response from her, but yes, she's one of the best authors. PHP 5 for Dummies by Janet Valladay, and the book is available for free online. I don't want to tell you any of the illegal websites to get, but just you can easily Google for it and get the PDF version. So that is one of the best way to start, and I started with that. Spandan says, how much time gap shall a student update his or her profile in portfolios? As long as you feel that the update is necessary. For example, next month I'm getting a new project. I'm working on something totally different from what I have been working last month. So if I feel that this is going to add some value to my portfolio, I'm going to update. And for the past 6 years, I have been changing jobs, and my website has not been updated so far. I didn't feel the need of updating, so I did not do it. But if you see my LinkedIn profile, it has been updated like real time. So it depends on you. Okay. There is, okay, Abhishek. Which Abhishek? I can see a lot of Abhishek. Is it Abhishek Soni to make him the host? Oh yes, okay. Make host, change host. Okay, cool. Okay. The other question is, why is it there is a 7 here? Sumit Chandana. What should be key points that we should be we should keep in mind while making website in terms of presentation, styling, functionality, etc. First thing is readability, the content clarity. These things are very important when you're making a website. So why are you making a website? People should know more about you. So make sure the information that you give in the website is clear enough to for someone to understand why is the website there for the first place. And coming to the styling and functionality, obviously, a lot of people use a lot of different browsers. Some people use mobile phones, some people use tablets, some people use desktops, some people use old computers with Internet Explorer 6. Make sure your website displays in all the different, don't go to the extremely every single computer should display your website, but make sure a decent, all the decent computers will work or something like that. That is main thing. Workability, communication, content clarity, these are the things. Is it important to be a full stack developer, or mastering only one front end or back end will also work? Everything works as long as you are happy. For me, I love working with back end as well as front end, but in the work time, I would be given only one role, whether you are a front end developer or a back end developer. If you are a full stack developer, you will be getting paid a lot, but at the same time, even in the company, you will be asked to work on only one thing at a time. So that's, I would say, becoming a full stack developer is good. Learning is always good. And when you're working, it doesn't affect your work really. Can you recommend good sites for learning JSON and PHP? JSON is not something that you kind of learn because it's just a data structure or a language like XML, but JSONlang.org is one of the best places. So if you just go online and type in JSON, you will be able to find that website which I shared. It's JSONlang or something like that. Yeah. And okay. Is IE compatibility still really necessary? Harish, not exactly. I hate it. But at the same time, in case if it is your brand and you want it to make sure it works in all the different systems, then yes, it would be nice to have it. I tried to learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript multiple times, but have never gotten a good hold of understanding of them to make website. What would be your learning to make good websites? Like this, try making different websites, try to copy different websites. Don't copy the code, but copy the style. You see the website, okay, it looks like this, and you want that website to be replicated in your computer. So how would you do it? Keep writing that, keep practicing that code. So that's how you should be doing. Importance of portfolio in one's resume. Looking just at my website, I have got several offers which are more than 1 crore, which is cool, right? So definitely employers nowadays are looking at your online presence, your online website. So having a website is definitely going to boost your resume compared with those people who do not have a portfolio. So if you are a web developer, obviously if you have a website, that actually demonstrates your ability to be a web developer. So that's something which I would say. How much time did it take for you to have decent skills in front-end development starting from scratch? I guess I started when I was in my school and I did not read it in the right proper way, which was a huge, down thing for me. But at the same time, I was able to do a lot of ways I was able to learn the websites in the hard way. But if you learn it from the right places, for example, Free Code Camp or that Angela Vu or something like that, those people, they kind of like have got good experience on learning or teaching. That way you would be not finding the hassle that I learned the hard way. You know what? First time when I write the CSS, I wrote it using JavaScript, which is one of the worst. So time taking, I'm still learning. That's what I would say. I have been working with JavaScript, HTML, CSS for the past 25 years. 25 years ago was the first time I created one website. And from that time till now, I'm still learning things. So learning is a continuous process. You have to keep on perfecting. If you go to awards.com, awwwards.com, you would see a lot of different websites, which looks really great. So unfortunately, you keep learning a lot of time. So yes, that is something which I would say. Again, Dhruvi, the website that just I said you, awards.com, you can get ideas for portfolio and design, etc. Can you share some of the exciting projects that you worked in your college days or even now? Yes, I just check out my GitHub profile. Almost all GitHub profile and LinkedIn, GitHub profile and YouTube, I have shared literally everything that I feel that it is going to be excitable or something like that. And the final question, in industry today, we can excel with just one skill like web dev. Hello, web dev or app dev is not just one skill. If you see web dev, there is front end, back end, weekend, okay, something like that. There is a lot of things for each things, okay, or we need different skills and mix them. And so I would suggest you to be a master of one and slightly a jack of many. So master of one in the sense, for me, if you ask me, PHP, I know in and out. React.js and Node.js, I know in and out. And other technologies, I know a bit of it. Like, for example, if you give me a code which is written in, let's say, Java or .NET, I will be able to understand and analyze what exactly it is written. So like that, be like that, so that you have a specialty, a special skill, and others, you know a bit of it. That is something which I would like to say. Blockchain and web development and Web3, etc. are upcoming technologies. Keep updated on those things. You have got a lot of blogs and other things where you will be able to find a lot of information. Thank you so much for all the messages, all the feedback. So yes, over to you, Rahul.
Thank you so much, sir. Like, it was very, very enlightening session for all of us listening over here. And then we got the opportunity to ask our questions. which made it like a great nitro boost for us, because we wanted to ask questions, because we are in such a stage that we don't know when to take pivot and which pivot to take. So these answers of yours help us a lot to determine which thing to do when, and what are the things which you might have made a mistake in your life, and we learn from it so that we don't make it, and we make our own mistakes, which would help us to learn in a much more better way. So thank you so much, Praveen sir. It was very, very, very enlightening session for all of us. And yeah, all of you guys, every link from which you can follow sir up or connect with sir has been provided in the chat box. And you can check out his LinkedIn profile, his YouTube account, everything. You can subscribe to it. Very, very amazing content comes over there. You can learn literally amazing things in very short amount of time. So you can do all of it. Thank you so much, sir, again. It was very enlightening personally as well, listening to all of these things.
Whoever has actually interacted in the chat, please message me on LinkedIn. Make sure you connect with me on LinkedIn, not just follow me. So once you connect with me, just let me know that you have been a participant in this VITC webinar. I would like to give a lot of goodies. I've got like so many stickers to give away. Look at this. So who wants these stickers? So I mean, there are a huge number of stickers back in India as well. So I'm happy to give them away for everyone as well. So don't forget, hit the subscribe button in my channel as well. So thank you so much, Rahul, for helping me reach this. And another thing which I wanted to say is like, okay, I wanted to say something. I totally forgot. Connect with me for goodies, career development. In case if you want to come to the UK to work, I'm happy to help you out. And as usual, whatever I say after every session, stay home, stay safe, take care of your health. Health comes first. Health comes first, and make sure you take care of it. Yeah. Cool.
Thank you so much, sir. For all the participants, a feedback form would be provided to you right now, and according to which the attendance would be marked, and then you will be given a certificate. So do fill in that form, and yeah, you can check out YouTube channel of sir as well to give a good comment on his stream that is going on right now, to give him like the appreciation for what he has done to us. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you all. Do fill in the feedback form. Yeah.